Yeah, you probably gotta make sure he ain't barking.
Okay. Yeah. If y'all remember, pick up that mic. You might remember, you might not. And don't email. Yeah, I tell you what. Fresh your ass back there.
Wait, you not going live on TikTok?
I'm gonna just record and I just post cause shit. I didn't figure out my I didn't figure out my what was it? My camera. So everybody that comes, so I guess I said, well, I just use my phone. I ain't do my camera.
Everybody ain't going. What you mean everybody ain't going? What you mean?
My classmates. Yeah, this one too. I just remember to get it. Yeah. You must gonna talk to.
I'm just hear y'all bullshit. Yeah. Nope.
What that area?
How they here go?
What you got? See, you want to talk about.
No, I'm ready. You saw it. Won't put up a video because I guess it's set.
Well, guys, this is gonna be on the blooper. What's called blooper reel. This is mastery. My podcast mastery. Swear, shut up, because I'm still trying to master me. So, where self mastery is always the topic, because we always need to work on ourselves. I don't care what's going on. You always gonna have to work on yourself first before you can do or try to help somebody else. And get what? You can't change nobody's mind. You can only change your mind. And when you change your mind, sometimes it still work with that relationship. And I ain't talking about romantic. I'm just talking about relationship here. It can be business. Once you change you, everything else will change. And sometimes when you make a change, you don't fit in that situation no more. So you have to update that situation also. So just know with self mastery, it is a lot of process, a lot of life changes because people don't want you to change. They want you to stay the same old you. So you fit their outlook of you. But when you change and you become your outlook of yourself, everybody else around you gonna start acting different. Mm-hmm.
You gotta get in.
You don't gotta grab the mic.
What?
I'm saying like you over here grabbing it to get this hot seat.
Great.
Check.
Push it back.
Trying to help you out.
I told her that 3 times. Oh.
Testing.
Yeah, push it back.
Testing.
Testing. It tests.
All right, y'all gotta talk up now. Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, you just push it back so it'll be wide enough to get us. Push it back so it'll be wide enough to just don't turn it, just push it back.
There we go.
Yay, glory. Hallelujah. Like they said, hallelujah. Glory, there we go. You see that hat? Boo? Mastery. Because I'm still trying to master me.
Stop trying to pass so proper.
I ain't acting proper. I'm being me. If it's proper, it's just proper. Well, yeah, know that. Y'all, we come. Hold on. Double check.
So you ain't going live, right?
Nope. I'm just gonna post clips and tell them to go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're trying to look professional.
Yep. Because I'm professional anyhow.
When?
You gonna have to cut that kick in. Huh?
What you
You gotta cut that kick in.
repeat that line?
What's the name of your
He
podcast?
trying to get me blocked. Oh, he trying to get me blocked before I even get started. Mastery,
That's
where
the name of
self
your
mastery is the topic.
mastery, where self mastery is the top.
Where self mastery is always the topic.
So that's the name of your. All
Mastery.
right, we're gonna go live.
Live. Thank you.
Go live.
I'm trying to see what you're talking about. I mean,
Okay, we live.
okay, do you stream your?
It's on there.
Oh, it's already. The people gonna come? I don't know how to do it now.
Well, let me go to comment. Just get anybody go to.
Okay, good. All right, so let's go and get started on the radio.
I gotta produce. Y'all see, I gotta produce. I gotta.
I'm gonna do my produce. I'm just gonna do one large video. Go back and edit that mug up and put my intro in there.
Set up, girl.
I know you do.
I go ahead.
I'm trying to tell you. I just do these like I just be looking like that. I be doing stuff. Don't worry about what's going on upon my head though. It mastered it, I know that.
Don't worry about what's going on upon my head. That might fire, boy.
Yeah. All right, come on, girl. What?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mastery, where self-mastery is always the topic.
Mm-hmm.
This is my mom podcast, her platform. As y'all can see, we got it streaming live on my platform as well. Go to YouTube, KT1792. You can see it live on my YouTube channel. If y'all want to go ask questions, Special guest, she wanted to do like a panel. She had an idea for a panel. She want her generation perspective along with our generation perspective. You know, we younger. So here to my right, we have special guest, Miss Caitlin Green. And then we have Shalanda Faye, the proprietor of Mastery, where self-mastery is all the time. So what we wanted to get into
Well, proprietor mean if you got any problem, don't go to at Shalanda Faye on all social. That's what proprietor mean. Okay.
So go ahead. Let everybody know about you.
Stop trying to get to a little
Well, you want to know about me, just go look at my stuff.
No, everybody know about you and your idea for why you wanted to do this.
Self-mastery, because ever since 2017, I have been on a journey. I'm talking to my people. I have been on a journey to find myself. And it is a long, long journey. I came out of religion, the church, because they weren't doing God like I thought God was supposed to be, and they weren't doing God. So I came out of religion and I encountered a real presence that was the real Spirit of God. And that led me on to finding myself, because what I realized was, and what was shown to me at that point in 2017 was what I used to think of as a child is what I really am. The church told me not to do that, but God was the one pushing me towards that because that's what He created me to do. Nobody never told me that. So I went on a journey and still on a journey of self-learning, self-governing, and purpose. And that's mastery. Because you got to master your mind, your will, your emotion. Not nobody else, yourself. And that's when I started on 2017. I've been going strong ever since.
So now that y'all kind of got the background of what led her to want to talk about mastery, we're going to start with Miss Caitlin. What does self-mastery mean to you?
I think self-mastery is just basically working on yourself. It could be in your own time. I don't know.
Just kind of like working on yourself.
Yeah, just working on yourself.
Consistent, like a constant
Continuously. Yeah, it's just your journey.
Yeah.
Okay. What does it mean to you?
What self mastery means to me. Now look here, you gotta understand. How old you with McKay?
I am 28.
McKay 28, 47. Okay, I covered my y'all hear me? 47. So it's gonna be a different. Self mastery to me, that's what your question say.
Yes.
What is self mastery? Number one, self governance. Self governing. You shouldn't have to have nobody tell you to do nothing because you should know how to do it yourself. Nobody shouldn't have to tell you get up. Nobody should tell you wash your behind. Nobody should tell you do what you're supposed to do. Nobody should tell you none of that. You should be already doing those things. That's number one of self mastery, self governance. Making decisions that keep your character lined up in integrity with you and keep you going. Should nobody have to call the police on you because you self governing. Should nobody have to tell you not to steal no cable because you self governing. See, that's a maturity and a character clash. You got to have character, you got to have maturity, then you got to be able to respond to the stuff you're supposed to be taking care of. They call that responsibility. You have to have the ability to respond and solve problems. That's self mastery. But you got to do all that for you. And then those that are depending on you to take care of them, i.e., children, older parents, blase, blase. Did I get to you? I need to do some more.
I get your point because, like you said, with the different generations, my definition of self mastery kind of long, so kind of what she said. It's just a constant journey of developing yourself. Like you said, self govern. You know what to do, when to do, how to do. You know that innate, like what's right, what's wrong. Self like disciplining yourself, especially in things that places you know you want to go, things you know you want to do, whatever your dreams are, your purposes are.
Yeah.
You know how to act, and you know how it's also like developing yourself, like mentally, spiritually, emotionally.
Yes.
Character, what you always say, your talent will get you there, but character keep you there.
Right.
So I feel like developing your character is also a part of mastering yourself, because when we got talent and stuff and gifts, we all just worried about the talents and the gift. You're not worried about the mastering of decisions you make and stuff like that. So that kind of my definition of it. Just mastering yourself, developing so you know what choices to make, what decisions to make, so you'll know what to do along for your purpose and what you want to do in life.
Let me finish it. Self-governance was just my first one. Purpose comes. Mastery also meaning finding what you are here on the earth to do. Your purpose for being on the earth at this particular time. You got to find it and master that. And then what I said before was the governance. All of that governance help you stay on the path of mastering your purpose. If you don't have no character, no integrity and stuff like that, you ain't gonna finish that purpose like you're supposed to, like meant to do. You ain't gonna serve people like you're supposed to do, like you meant to do. So that was just the government number one. We are all kings, offsprings of God, and a king know how to govern himself. And then what I'm here, why am I here? What am I put here to master? That's your purpose.
So like you said, with the self mastery, right? Character, like you stated, if when you said mastering yourself, because if you don't master yourself, depending upon where you at, you might not complete your full, because it's so is that kind of like that character, like we see these athletes got the talent and stuff, but they doing stuff off the field that's stopping.
Yes, their character can't cash no check. You see what I'm saying? They cashing, they selling wolf tickets with character. Now the gift gonna get you there. Your gift gonna make room for you anyway. It's your character that gonna keep you there. Cause them doors open. Cause everybody see you got to give. They want to give. But when you get in there, don't nobody want to go to work with nobody acting like an ass. I mean a fool. Don't nobody want to be around nobody that always fussing and fighting. That's character. That's integrity. That's morals. Don't nobody want to be around nobody that gonna be stealing their equipment. Don't nobody want to be around nobody that come in and they got their whole entourage. And you see what I'm saying? If they can't come, I can't come. Well, then don't you come. That's what I mean. So your gift gonna open the door. It's the gift gonna open the door because it's a gift. It's free to you. But your character, what gonna keep you there?
And then I can say, and it's along the lines of, well, if I'm great or if I'm fine, I can do those things. They need me. Like, is that I just haven't mastered myself, or am I taking advantage of knowing a place or somebody need me?
Okay, that is a prideful thing because just like you gotta give, but you don't want to work on the character. God will replace you with somebody that gotta give, and they give might not even be as much as yours. But the person has character. They're ready to work. They're ready to learn. They humble down to earth, and they put in that work. They gonna get your every time. Every time.
I want to ask you, as a teacher, what's your? Cause you telling people what you teach, and then kind of give your perspective on this whole self, like developing self or character, and how young you can start developing that because of things you see as a teacher.
Well, let me start off by saying I teach pre-K, Georgia pre-K, but I've also been in every classroom.
Miss Caitlin does not succeed.
But yes, I teach pre-K. I've also been in every classroom in a daycare, so I also have taught younger. From what I can see, you can start character development as young as an infant. Just talking to them, constant communication, just playing with them, being around them, interactions, all of that can start building their character, how your child will act, who you have around them, what you do around them. Everything you do, they can see. I just want to put that out there. They are watching 24/7. Whether they can do it right then and there, that doesn't matter. They'll hold on to that information. They'll see you doing something and be like, oh, when I get that age, I can do that. And when they get that age, they're going to do that. And I think parents tend to forget that with what they do around their children, how that can affect their character development later on down the line. But please do be very cautious about what you do around your children. I often see children cussing often, like that's probably more often than it need to be right now. I've also seen hitting, fighting. Well, my daddy does that to my mommy, or well, my mommy goes out and she does that with other females. I don't want to hear or see that. I'm not a fan of any of that play fighting. Oh well, my mommy and daddy does it. Oh well, somebody does it. Whoever. I don't want to hear or see it. So let's just be mindful, because it is rough as a teacher having to, I don't know, I guess you could say, reverse that or try to fix it, because it's not easy. It's not a 1-2, and it's not something you can do in just 10 months, which is the amount of time that we are around these children.
Now, you also was in the school for high. You've done high school, middle. You've done pretty much elementary, middle.
As a substitute, I did all of regular and special education.
So, to piggyback, what are you seeing as far as character development in those older ages?
Along with what Miss Caitlin said, you only had those kids for 10 months, and you have so many kids in your class for those 10 months. You cannot do a one-on-one. See, the things that we talking about, it's a one-on-one. It need to be developed in you one-on-one as you're growing. And a teacher cannot do that. because it's too. First of all, it's too many kids in the room. Let me give you an example. In the spare room, it's less children, but it's more work. In a regular room, it's more children and still more work.
Mm-hmm.
So this stuff what we talking about have to start at home early. Even before they get out of the house and start going to school, you should be talking about yes, no, sir. Yeah, mama can't be in the car. Cause the camera ain't gonna change me now. You hit the you did. You hit it.
Yeah, Dad said it starts in the household.
Yeah, it start in the house. So you and then it has to start in the household to me early so that the children will be able to respect authority.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
Because
that's the issue.
if they don't start early respecting authority, they're not gonna do it. That's why the jail is full now. Because they don't respect authority. And their moms, younger moms or older moms, trying to go out and get out and do all these things and not teaching the kids, so the child is raising themselves, which my generation, a lot of us had to raise ourselves, but we still got the authority. We still got that. Now people don't have the respect for authority. And then when you go to the classroom, they don't have I know I did in high school. The high school had more respect for authority than the younger kids. Like third grade, that little girl was doing like this to me. I said, "Oh no, ma'am, I can't do this too much. You come? No, I'm not coming back to this school because
She's not lying.
I'm gonna have to whoop that baby right there because ain't nobody teaching this baby nothing.
The younger, the worse.
Cause just because you can do your neck like that, don't mean you got nothing in here. That right there gonna get you behind bars."
But I think they go to what she said too, though, because like this, when you think about this topic, can go across a lot of things. Because like that self development, self character. Like when I was young, like I was a little bossy, like I had a little mouth on me, but I just had my parents. I was the only child. I was around. But how old I was? About 24. My age, I am now 24, 22, 20. So I was kind of like that too, like little bossy.
But you was around adults all the time. You didn't have that many kids. And then when you were around kids, some of them, I don't know what they weren't having. They weren't having as much authority as they should have with military.
Dad said, "No, not with me."
So yeah, and then I think the thing with you is you had older enough parents that grew with older people. Like older people taught us because our mom was gone, so older people taught us. That's why we got it. The newer, I don't know, but like now, whoever have a baby, they gonna get some old school.
I'm gonna pull some up.
Like my nieces and stuff, they gonna have old school. Cause my mama old. My mama was 70 something. See, I don't know how she old. Anyway, what you doing?
I'm gonna pull up some and show you.
Oh Lord, she's pulling up something over here that over here my crew can't see over here.
That why y'all go. Next they go to my YouTube.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go to her stream, y'all, so you can see what she done pulling up over here.
I just want to show you this video and see what you say. Is this a definition of kind of what we're talking about?
Okay. So the people on your screen, you're gonna be able to see what you're doing.
I'm gonna share it. Would you let your child do this? Like, is this a part of character development?
Okay, when I'm fans that night, it's the song now, baby.
But I'm gonna.
Oh, you finna see what she doing in the video? Okay. Okay, let's see.
Now let me, every time I share something, I like to make sure we good on YouTube. And Dad said I just don't like young parents to having their 12, 13-year-old kids as babysitters.
Yeah.
That too. Now that's bad too.
I mean, well, you know, now that because they didn't have the old school training them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because we did that. I was watching my baby. My brother was, he was born when I was
I
11.
was about to say I was definitely
I was
babysitting a lot
built in.
as a child. Yeah.
Built in free babysitter.
Yeah, I gotta make sure we good for I share so because it be tripping sometimes. Like it don't be tripping, but I just. So, what's your thoughts on this? How did little girl dance?
Oh,
That's
let
what
me
we
see how
talked
she
about
dance.
earlier.
Boots on the ground. She's watching a video from Boots on the Ground with a big girl and a little girl dancing, and the little girl doing the boots on the ground dance.
What's your thoughts on this?
Now,
It's just the little booty shaking part.
And then there's other. Now I do want to give her pause that because I want to give her the backstory. Now there are more videos of her with smaller shorts, like
talking about that little girl right there.
yes, dancing in front of crowds. Like
Okay,
she
now
been
that right
dancing
there.
with a lot of like grown folks. It's outside of her mama. How she got big was dancing with her.
They
mama.
record her.
Yeah, but now they be recording her. Yeah, in short clothes, like.
Now, see, it's a different. My take on that gonna be different because when we watch DD4L, they got a baby group, but they be doing they popping it with it, but they doing it with a group and they doing it for the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference of that and that? That's what I'm asking. Because
she's like 3 years old.
they be the babies. And here's the thing with that: if them babies and you know them babies gonna be dancers. You know they gonna be dancers.
I don't know about no 3-year-old popping her booty like that in the camera.
And it's just by her. For me, I think
I just see where society is, and I see like we talk about here to the.
We talking about
like the female artists. The wave is putting your body out there and showing everything, shaking your booty. That's how a lot of women are making their money on online content creating.
For me, it's also like from a teacher standpoint, how many predators are out there. It's just I just wouldn't. It's also for me. I think my biggest issue is she's on stage in the middle of I don't know how many people by herself. And y'all are just camera in her face. She got on very tight shorts. She just
now in that case, to me, she shouldn't have had on the little tight stuff by herself.
Yeah,
like cause when like with DD4L, they be together. And they have
that's
on
why I'm like
outfits
they be in
and
a
they
group.
they be together. So I guess that maybe that's different what you're talking about.
Yeah,
because if she was my baby, she wouldn't have had the little shirt. She would have had like a little fluffy little girl
something
stuff.
cute. Yeah,
Yeah. But if she a dancer, she got to dance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
her dancing is not an issue. I think for me, it's just what she
wears. Yeah.
I mean, but that's dance. So you go over to Nigeria, you go over to another country. That's a norm. If you dance, it's norm.
But you let me do that at 3 years old.
They come out the womb doing it. I'm serious.
But I don't know. Dad said he said no. He said no difference, and I don't like that either. He said he don't like what DD4L do with the little girls. I don't know. Like I get your point, but when we talk,
you got to think about what in my mind. I'm thinking self mastery, purpose. I know, especially with dance, that stuff got to start getting. Even with sports, muscle memory stuff got to start getting there 2 or 3. You got to start. You got to get in that car. If you don't, by the time you get 10, you go to with the other 10-year-old that have been doing it. You way behind.
I guess my problem is the constant recording and posting. And my issue is that's the only song she's doing. It's not really a lot of other dances that she's doing like that. She literally only popping for this song. And I feel like at this point they just using her for this song. Yeah. But
so y'all think she using her, or do you think the little girl is asking to dance?
Well, come on now.
I think
No, I'm
Asking.
asking you.
3 years old.
Yes.
The adult in the room is still the one who's gonna have.
But what?
The adult in the room
My
is who showed her.
my question is, do you think that they just recording her all the time, or do you think the baby coming and saying, "Can you turn the kind thing on? I want to dance." Case in point, Jocelyn Fox did that.
What?
I always, when we were looking back at my phone, I always on my phone. Had to my mom record me, CJ record me, pick me up and do me like this. Joy did that. And that's what made me put her in dance up there. She got her little outfits of tutu by there in the closet.
She ain't weird no like.
But what I'm saying, she had her little outfits and tutu from dance recitals and dance class, her little tap shoes back there. Yeah, Jocelyn did it. And then when we went to do it and got tired, she got the phone and propped it up and did it herself.
How old was Joy when she was doing it?
Let me see. What she was? Probably about 4, 5.
Cause I think that little girl.
Yeah, cause you still here.
Yeah, I think that little girl about 2, 3.
It went what that damn they always do.
That what I'm saying. That's what
Juju, something around there.
Oh yeah, Juju on that beat.
Yeah, around. Yeah, all of them on my phone. Well, not on my phone, but on my drive, my G drive.
That's why we didn't put Tootie in gymnastics because I didn't like it.
Yeah, because he didn't like our little outfit, but had we would have put because you wanted to do it. You see what I'm saying? And then when we got here, you did cheerleading, you did gymnastics, you did all that stuff, and you was with the cheerleader.
And then that kind of what he said. He said who she got that from though. That's what I'm saying. The adult in the room started it. Like, oh yeah, let's record you and put you on.
I don't know. I can't say the adult in the room started. I can't. The reason why the adult posted it. But I can't say that. Like, I can't say they started her to dance because I ain't tell Jocelyn to start. I told her to sit down somewhere. Now the posting and all that, and they keep posting, Yeah, but however, if that's how I'm trying to put some food in her mouth, and then she want me to record it, that's what I'm gonna do. I ain't gonna make her get up and do it. Reason why I say it like that, cause she did it all the time. I mean, that's what made me start getting them a little phone call. I got tired of them getting my phone, especially Joy, her and CJ. Them about some damn Juju and all that other stuff they were doing. I mean, I'm just giving you a different perspective on it because I know being a mother of a child like that, be bouncing out the wall and stuff like Jocelyn do, even now. Prop that phone up. Y'all look, and here she go. That's what she do. So I'm just saying.
So then to my leg, you dropping it like you were hot at 5.
Well, we're not talking about me.
I will say, like y'all had me at Auntie M High on her little step up stage. They had me up there dancing and juking.
Dancing, just the same place where I was. Pop like. Yep. And who taught you how to do that?
Yeah, I say yes.
Your grandmama, my mama taught you how to do that. Like, yeah. Okay, so let's not worry about that. But anyway, we talk about self-mastery and purpose, and let me tie purpose into this. What we talking about? Yeah, if that little baby dancing like that now, whether they're post or not, something in her is wanting her to do it. She want to dance, so she want to dance because she a dancer. That's why I said, who making her that? Is she making herself that? We're not making herself. Is she just coming dancing, or are they making her do? See, that's the thing. That's the question. Because I ain't never made Joyce do that. She kept coming to me dancing, flipping, jumping out there. That was her, and she still will do it because that's her, and that's her purpose as a child. You know who you are for anything. And you be being yourself until somebody tell you not to do it.
You talking about Mary J. Blige and Meg Thee Stallion. I hope she ain't doing no Meg Thee Stallion at 3 years old.
Mm.
But like you said, it's good segue into purpose. So tie in when we kind of did the self mastery, right? We say self discovery is a part of self mastery, or probably kind of two different.
No, it all go into mastery because You can't master yourself till you know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and then purpose. Once you identify that purpose, you know who you are. Now you can actualize and go into that lane more and become more of yourself because now you done figured out the biggest thing. Who am I? What am I? What am I supposed to be doing? Because just because you get up every day and go to the job, that don't mean that don't mean you're successful because you ain't doing your purpose. Because God didn't put us here to work at McDonald's every day unless you're supposed to be working at McDonald's every day to get to the manager, to get to the owner, to get to a franchise. Okay, then that could because you have a business gift. But if that ain't your gift, you probably doing something else.
Now, what tips would you give for people to find themselves or self discovery?
Self actualize. Where do I start? Go back to like we were talking about, like this little girl. Go back to 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and meditate on that and remember what do you used to think about, what you woke up thinking about, what you went to sleep thinking about. And if you can't get it that early, come on to 10, 11, 12, what you went to sleep. What did you find yourself doing when you had complete joy? What can you do easy that is hard for everybody else? What make you angry when somebody do it and it ain't right? Like if somebody bake a cake and I put the frosting on wrong, if that piss you out real hard, well, you might want to be a cake maker. If somebody build a house and they ain't put something right with it, and that if it just something in your mind, you got to go in there and do the business, and you can do that easy without nobody showing you, then you a house builder. You see what I'm saying? Just little kinks like that. If it make you angry when it's done incorrectly, think about that. Then if you can do it easy and it's so hard for other folk, it point you in your direction. If you will do it all day and nobody ain't got to pay you for it, and you just want to do it because you love it, bam, bam, lamb, bam, lamb.
Now, what if, say, for example, like for me, y'all know, like Dad in here, you and him, it was always soccer. Like I always wanted to play. But after I first played it, I always knew I wanted to be famous, and I kind of always knew I wanted to play a sport. Then when I played soccer, that is just kind of what clicked for me. Like this, what I want to do. I want to play soccer. Then when I played goalie, this what I want to do. I want to play soccer. I want to be a goalie. I want to be the best goalie. And that's that. Even now, still working toward we get there. But how can that character development or self mastery help when your journey is hard? And what does it mean if you not lose the love, but stuff has been so hard to where a part of you is like, dang, am I even gonna get there? Do I even want to do this anymore? Or where do you tap in? Do you tap into like that character, self mastery, self discovery? How you get back to purpose if you feel like you hadn't got there when you should have been there?
That's when you tap into the one that gave you the gift. Because everybody that gonna get out the box and do their purpose encounters the same thing what you're talking about. Every person in the world. Because what God wants to know is, are you gonna do what I said, what I gave you to do, and are you gonna do it at the level that you're supposed to do it, and are you gonna stick with it? Because I've invested so much in you. That just like you put so much investment into this car or whatever, and you don't want to sell it for $100 when you done invested $1 million. So I want to know, are you going to do what you're supposed to do? That's why it's hard. And then it's hard because, especially like you started on you identified early. So those things going to be hard because you didn't have to go get a job. You didn't have to go get this right here. You didn't have to go get that. So those things were character building and integrity stuff for people like me who found their stuff late. And I always knew, but I didn't know it was God giving me the gift of singing and writing stuff. I thought that the church said it, they're evil. But when I came out the church and encountered God for myself, I realized, oh, that was God. But since you identified early, now He uses your role and to get professional to develop the character, the integrity. Are you gonna stick with it? Are you gonna do it? Because on the other side of obedience is what you want anyway. But are you gonna sharpen it? Sharpen the gift, like go to this training, go to that training. Are you gonna sit back on the weekend? Or are you gonna get up and train? Are you gonna go ball out when you get your little check? Or are you gonna put it to the side, invest or whatever, pay for some more training to help you get. See, those are things that you do. You want to see what she gonna do with this opportunity. What she gonna do with this resource? Because if you still pointing into the gift and you still pointing into the purpose, he gonna keep pushing you and opening doors on that road. But you gotta stay on that road. And even when it look like you ain't going nowhere, you still moving. You just moving like a turtle. You gonna have a turtle. You gonna have the rabbit. You gonna have a cheetah sometime, and then you gonna go back to the dirt. So that's how it gonna be. Yeah, I got it. You know what?
That's it. That's it. We started to singing and writing. I
Yeah,
remember them days.
singing and writing, and look how long that been.
They focus.
And then since we military, we didn't have like living in areas that wasn't no big music. We had to figure that out ourselves. And whatnot, I can go out there and make a beat in a song just by myself. I ain't gotta pay nobody to do it. I can release it right now because of what we had to do back then. You see what I'm saying?
Now, what would you say your journey has been like? Trying to discover, like, trying to discover.
I mean, it's that let you know
Yes.
it is a lot and it's hard, and you got to stick with it though.
It was very long. Okay. It was long. And it's still long. Like it's hard. Just trying to get to where I want. I will say that I'm almost there. Like I can feel it. It's just I'm not.
Yeah.
And oftentimes I cry. I want to already be there, but I always have to remind myself that everything that I want is going to take time, and I just have to put the effort. I just gotta work towards it, and I'll have it. It's just a lot, and being a teacher is not. It is very stressful. It's a constant mental struggle because you want to put yourself first, but you have little children little children that are attached, little children that love you, and I hate to be like this. Sometimes more than they parents. So it's very hard to just leave. It's hard to just be like, oh, I gotta pick up and go because I want better for myself. So I don't have time to be in this center. I don't want to stay here. I want to move on. It is hard. I've had to do that quite a few times, and it has been nothing but tears after. But you just gotta, for all the teachers that have that stigma where their children are keeping them in places that they probably shouldn't be, they're usually gonna leave. They'll never leave.
And let me piggyback off what Miss Caitlin said. The long way is the right way. Because if you take shortcuts, you're gonna have to go back and start on the long way where you left off at. A shortcut makes it longer. It seems like you're getting somewhere, but you ain't getting nowhere because you got to go back and get right back in place where you were on the long road. Because on the long road, you're developing step by step so you can be able to handle whatever you need to handle when you get there. But a shortcut, you can't handle nothing because you negated the learning process. So you got to go back all the way back over and start over. So just remember, there are no shortcuts. Stay the course, continue to go, because if you do a shortcut, it's gonna put you all the way back around You're gonna think you're getting over, you're gonna be like, nah, I should just started, and you're gonna get right back in line where you got out at. That we're gonna get back in line. And that can be years for some people. That can be months for some, that can be years for some, that can be never for some. So you might miss them opportunities on that road. Okay.
But that is okay.
Okay, because
My
see,
dad said, he said, keep pushing and don't accept failure. You have to put yourself first. Self mental and self care is the best thing.
mhm. And as women, we learn that later. That's why I'm trying to teach y'all now. Self-care, self-mastery. Put that first. Because you gotta take care of yourself. I learned that last. I learned that later. I've been a wife 2 times. So that pushed me back with the self stuff. Because children will make you think that you done lost your mind when you think about yourself, honey. Let me just tell you that. Anyway, and dog moms too. They make you think you gotta do their stuff and their stuff and their stuff and their stuff and put your stuff on the back burner when in actuality you need to flip it. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you cannot take care of nobody else. So put the self mastery,
Take care of yourself.
take care of yourself. That what my daddy used to always say, take care of yourself now here.
Dad too.
Take care of yourself first. Then everybody else. It seems selfish, but it really isn't. Because you can't love nobody or take care of nobody if you're not in the place to do it.
Nah, and like you said, with that journey, too, it's harder when you, like you said, especially for somebody like me. High school, I went from high school straight to Alabama State. I ain't have to get no job. I ain't have to do. I just was able to school soccer. But when all that's over with, and you still trying to get to, like, say for pro, for example, it's people out there trying to go pro football, pro basketball.
Mm-hmm.
When we out of school, but you still gotta train. You gotta find how you gonna pay. If you ain't living with your parents, you gotta figure out how you gonna pay rent, but how you gonna pay training to keep your body up for when that opportunity comes. Because like last summer, I played semi-pro, like, so them opportunities are there, but I just gotta make sure I'm still doing what I'm supposed to do to take care of responsibility. It's even harder when, like they say, you have to work a regular job on top of trying to do your purpose stuff at the same time.
Oh yes.
So again, I've been looking up, but
I've been tired. I've been looking for people. Don't worry about it.
it's not easy. Trust me, it's not easy. But what I say is try to do what you can to. Everybody's journey different. I can't tell you the journey, but try to do what you can to where you don't have to work a regular job. Like she said, start early. I knew what I wanted early, but I probably made some choices along the way that probably, like Dad always say, I probably should have just stayed at my first college. But certain choices I made probably prolonged me a little bit. But just stay the course. Because each step, I'm going up, I'm going up, I'm going up. But trust me, it's a lot harder. You got to take your responsibility on top of trying to do your first stuff. So what the Bible said, don't let your hand be out of that night. What does Scripture say?
Don't let your hand be idle in the evening. So the principle, what you're saying is, in the daytime, you work on man's job. And the nighttime, you work on your job. Or if you work at night, then in the daytime, you work on your purpose. So from 8 to 5, you do man's job. From 5 to 10, you do your purpose stuff. So your hands will never be lazy. And that's the principle if you didn't catch it. Just catch that nugget.
You got no mother. I feel like you do understand that.
They're in the back. They're also available for sale. But anyway.
I feel like self-sabotage is an issue.
You got to move your hair back, girl.
Yeah, that's why.
No, get your hair out your face.
I like it.
Get your hair back.
You can fit the hand. That's why I got the.
You look like I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. People, I ain't see you out there, people. Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
just
talking about like
yes.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. 'Cause I can see your face.
Oh.
I can't be able to see your face, girl.
That's it. I'm learning. I have a mental health counselor. Never thought I would have done that.
What? I'm proud of you, bruh. Yay! I'm proud of you, bruh.
That's another thing. We probably have to get him on here from the
Mm-hmm.
man perspective too. That self care, self development. A lot of men don't be willing to do
Mm-hmm.
like mental health and
Black men.
stuff like that.
Specific.
Well, we all need some kind of mental health. Everybody, I think everybody needs some kind of. We all done had some type of trauma. We need some. Everybody need at least one session with a therapist. Clinical, not no church pastor.
I got these.
You need it.
Tickets. They don't know about that. They don't know about this sports. He told me he got these tickets.
Oh, okay. What time? How many minutes?
That's why I'm about to close. Anybody got
Oh, okay.
any final thoughts?
We're gonna close this session.
Got any final thoughts?
Mm-mm.
Final thoughts?
If you ain't heard nothing from me today, hear this right here. Find out who you are and do that. That's it. Mastery.
Final thoughts for me. Like I said, everybody said self mastery, self discovery. Self discovery is a part of self mastery. Self discovery is one of the first steps to self mastery. You gotta know why you put it on this earth. And like I stated, if things seem to not be going how you want them to go, I'm learning like adulting. I always try to find the good in situations instead of just looking negative. Look and see what you learned or possibly have learned from that situation. That's gonna help you get to like y'all know where y'all want to be in life. So wherever you at now, how is that positively affecting me to where I've learned this that's gonna help me when I get there? Because I look at some of these things these athletes doing, and I'm like, I've been developing my character during the time. So when I get there, you ain't got to worry about me being in those cases. You ain't got to worry about me in no court, no DUI, no nothing, because I've been developing mine. I wouldn't none of that no way. But I've developed my character so much during this time that when I finally get there, ain't no team gonna have to worry about none with Kyle and Thomas being in no news, no none of that. So just be grateful for where you at and just take that situation for what it is and just continue to work on yourself. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally.
Miss Kayla.
What was the thing? Also self-sabotage. Just make sure you're in the right mental space when you get to where you're going. And when you get these opportunities, because sometimes people they want it so bad that when they get it, they mess it up for themselves because they're trying to rush into it. They're trying to overdo it. Just make sure you can what you're about to embark on the journey. And sometimes people this is what I want to do, or they come up with something that's what they want to do, and then they get there and they don't want to do it, or they find out it's hard. Yeah, they find out it's harder than they want it, and they mess that all up. Then later on down the line, they get older and they're like, oh, I probably should have just kept the course, stayed the course. I should have just stuck with what I wanted to do because that's what I really want to do. Now you 45, 50, trying to do and it's a struggle. Like I've seen it working in GD. Yeah. Like it was. I seen it a lot. It was like, oh, I wish I would have done what you're doing. Like trying to figure out your life now as a young person, then now as an older person. So just be mindful. Yeah.
Everybody great.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in to my mom podcast, her mastery. This is her, but I'm streaming it on the All Things Life and Sport podcast. It's a part of the Kylie Cummings, the KT1 Network umbrella.
Oh,
She a
network
part
umbrella.
She a part of my network umbrella. So now you'll have all things like sports along with mastery where self with it. Mastery where self mastery is always the topic will also be streamed under KT1 network umbrella. So
I know.
that's how you gotta do that. Y'all see? That's how you gotta do that.
Yeah.
But make sure everything done before you try to have fun. Peace.
And a bottle of hair grease.
I gotta do me an outro.
All right. Ooh, my hip, child.
Oh, I gotta stop live, Virgo.
This ain't live.